Hey guys, I hope that I'm live right now. Please do let me know if you are able to listen to me properly, as well as there's no issues with my audio or the video, guys. Hello, everybody. I hope that I'm live right now. If you guys are able to listen to me properly, as well as there's no issues with the audio or the video, please do let me know, guys. Hello, everybody. I hope that I'm live right now. If you guys are able to listen to me properly, as well as there's no issues with the audio or the video, please let me know. No issues. Okay, that's great. That's great to hear. So, how was your day, guys? How was your day? How was your day, guys? Good to see you guys as well. Thank you so much. So Divina is sick. Okay, somebody is good, nice, and charmful. Very bad. So Percy Romano had a good day. By the way, I love the name Romano. It sounds very like good. Okay, so next, what boot camp, sir? So the next boot camp we are going to start from tomorrow onwards. Today we are going to have the second last day. Tomorrow as well we'll be having a like last day itself for the project. Okay, so don't worry about it. And yeah, the next bootcamp we are going to have on HTML and CSS, where we'll be having the project of making the Facebook clone. Whereas the day before, and along with that, we are going to have one more bootcamp, that is your data science bootcamp. That's machine learning and data science bootcamp that we are having. Okay. So try to finish today, please. I have classes tomorrow. That's great, but I don't care about it. Okay, I will be completing it on my own terms. So I had already told you guys yesterday itself that we will be having our boot camp like extended by 1 day. Okay. So do we have any boot camps on UI UX? I'm actually planning for the same itself, but I'm not getting enough time. But in the future, yes, we'll be having a boot camp on UI UX as well. Okay. The timing for tomorrow, I will you will be getting to know on the WhatsApp groups as well as on YouTube itself. If you are already present on YouTube, we'll be updating the video by tomorrow noon itself. So we'll be able to get the information after that about the timing. Okay. 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 So let me know, guys, what have we studied in our yesterday's day before yesterday's class. Can somebody let me know what we have studied in our day before yesterday's class, guys? HTML. We studied a bit about HTML. So today what we are going to do is we are going to start off with our bootcamp, and we are going to start off with React as well. Today we'll be understanding some of the basics of React.js, like some of the basic code that we have to write in React.js. And after that, we will be doing our project tomorrow onwards itself. Okay. So let's get started. Let me just open up Code Sandbox. Give me a second. Okay, give me a second, guys. Now whatever I'm doing today, okay, do not like do it along with me. Listen to me very carefully, what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. Try to understand as much as possible, guys. Okay, it is pretty simple. Whatever we have learned up till now, we have to do the exact same thing, so there's not a lot of change in what we have to do. I hope that that would be easy for you guys to understand. Please do let me know, guys. I hope that that would be easy for you guys to understand. Please do let me know. Great. So once you have opened up Code Sandbox and you have logged into Code Sandbox as well, in that particular case, you have to create a new sandbox. First of all, create a new sandbox from right over here, and then select React from there. Okay, select React from there. So it will install all the dependencies and everything that is required to create a React application. Once you have done that, what you need to do is you need to first of all delete the app.js file. Okay, delete the app.js file. Let me just increase the size so that first of all open up the browser in a new window itself. We have already discussed about this yesterday as well. There is this button on the top right corner of the browser that you are able to see, open in new window. Okay, just click on this particular button and it will open it in new window itself. Then you can go ahead and hide it. We don't require it as of this particular point of time. The next thing that we want to do is we want to delete the app.js file. Okay, so delete the app.js file from right over here. So just delete this file, we don't require it. Drag the styles.css file to the public folder. Okay, drag and drop the styles.css file to the public folder. Now after that, what we want to do is you want to delete everything from your index.js file. Okay, so your index.js file should be neat and clean. Then go to your index.html file. Okay, go to the index.html file. There's a lot of different pre-written code right over here. We just want to see the code like just inside the head itself. Okay, just go through the entire head, find a particular line of code. So they haven't connected to it, so we don't need to do anything right over here. Okay, so we can just ignore this index.html file. Whatever code that we are going to write, okay, whatever code that we are going to write, we are going to write it in this index.js file itself. Okay, we're going to write it in index.js file itself. Now as you guys are able to see, okay, right over here we have three different like libraries of Java that has JavaScript that has already been installed for you. These are called as dependencies, that your project is dependent upon these libraries. Okay, so you're having your React DOM and React scripts. Now we are not going to use React scripts, but that is pre-installed for us, so we don't need to do anything. React and React DOM is something that we are going to utilize while making our project. Okay, or learning React as well. So let me just increase the size of the screen. Now the first particular line of code that you have to write is you need to first import or use, okay, tell JavaScript that you want to use this particular library, you want to use the React library. Okay, the code that you're currently writing is going to utilize the React library. So you just have to write var React. Okay, that is the name of the variable that we are creating that will contain our React library. So require, and then the name of the library that we want to require, that is React. Okay, so as you're able to see, we are creating our very first variable called as React that basically requires the React library that has been pre-installed for us. The next particular variable that we need to create is var React DOM right over here, which is equals to require React DOM. Okay, so these are the two things that we need to install first of all. Now React, okay, the dependency that is just React is basically used right over here to it has a particular compiler inside of it. Okay, that is called as Babel. Okay, Babel is another compiler that React contains. Now the code that you are currently going to write, okay, it is called as a JSX code, that is JavaScript XML code. It is not pure JavaScript. Okay, this is called as JSX code. Okay, so React basically contains, the library React basically contains a compiler that is called as Babel that basically compiles down your JSX code, which is very easy to write and understand, into your normal JavaScript, vanilla JavaScript code. Okay, Babel basically does this conversion for you, and that is what we are going to use right now. So we are going to have React DOM as the variable that we created dot render. Okay, so do you guys know the meaning of render in English? Okay, do you guys know the meaning of render in English, guys? Can somebody let me know? Do you guys know the meaning of render in English? Can somebody let me know, guys? Can somebody let me know what is the meaning of render in English, guys? Render basically means to show something, to print something. Okay, to showcase something. Okay, you are rendering a picture. Okay, you are so processing something. Okay, so to process in the sense to show something at the end. So that is how what is the meaning of render. So right over here, what you want to do is you want to render an HTML tag, okay, an HTML component that is there, that is the h1 tag that we have seen in our previous class. Okay, you want to render it on your screen. Okay, you want to render it on your screen. So let's first go to your index.html to just check one of the things up. In the body, as you're able to see, we are having this div tag, okay, this empty container tag that is an ID. Just like when you are going to your college or school, you are having a roll number or an ID. Right over here, this div tag has a unique identifier, that is the ID itself, called as root. Okay, so we want to create an h1 element. We want to put an h1 element. We want to render an h1 element inside that container div app. Okay, that has div tag that has the ID of root itself. That is what we want to do. We are going to use the render method right over here, and then we are going to provide it what to render, comma, where to render. These are the two particular parts that we need to provide it to the render method. That is, what element do you want to show on your screen, and where inside the entire HTML page do you want it to be showcased. So what to render, we want to render an h1 tag. So let's convert this into an h1 tag right over here. So just an opening h1 tag and then an closing h1 tag right over here. And inside of it, you want to specify something. So let's specify hello world. Okay. And then after that, we are going to have your where to render. Okay, so where to render. So usually your HTML like code is usually referred to as a document. Okay, your HTML code is usually referred to as a document itself. So document dot get element by ID. So each of these tags, okay, each of these tags, whether it be the h1 tag, whether it be the div tag, are referred to as elements. Okay, and you want to get the element, okay, get the div tag. You want to get the div tag, the div tag with the ID of root from the entire document itself. So to do that, you are having document.get element by ID, where the ID is root. Okay, where the ID is root right over here. As soon as I'm saving this, okay, so this entire code, as you're able to see, as soon as I'm saving this, you're able to see an h1 element that is coming up on our website. And this h1 element is basically getting showcased on your screen by the help of React.js. You're using React to be able to showcase this on your website itself. Now, the main problem with this particular code that we have written up till this point of time is that this is a JavaScript like page. Okay, this is a JavaScript file, index.js. That means that this is a JavaScript file. Then if this is JavaScript file, why are we like having the render method? Okay, why are we having HTML? Okay, why are we having HTML inside of JavaScript? The rest of the code is JavaScript, I'm able to understand that, but why are we able to have like HTML inside of JavaScript? This is where the concept of JSX comes into place. Now, if you were writing the entire stuff in just normal, like this entire statement in just normal JavaScript, this exact statement, if you wanted to write it in normal JavaScript, this is how you would have written it. You don't need to understand the code, but just see how big it is. Var h1 is equals to document dot create element and you want to create the h1 element right over here. Then you would have to do h1 dot inner html, that is the text that you want to contain inside the h1 tag, should be equal to hello world. Let's take away hello world 2 so that we are able to see that this is the new tag. And then document dot get element by ID. The ID would be root right over here, dot append append child, and we want to append the h1 right over there. Okay, we want to append the h1 right over there. As soon as the exact same sentence, so this is written in JSX. Okay, this is written in JSX. This is the exact same thing in pure JavaScript, in vanilla JavaScript. So that is the job of React. Okay, that is the job of React. React contains Babel compiler that compiles this JSX down for you into pure vanilla JavaScript that will look like this. So if I'm saving this and going back to my website, and reloading the website as well, as you're able to see, we are able to get both the normal JSX as h1 tag as well as the vanilla JavaScript h1 tag on our screens. Okay, so that is the benefit of using JSX. It basically makes your code like very easy to run. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Great. Now the second thing is that as this is a JSX file, okay, so you don't have to write var react is equals to require react. That is a vanilla JavaScript style of writing this particular sentence. As this is a normal JSX, you can always use JSX. So we'll be writing it as import react from react. The exact same thing we can write it as import react from react, similar for react DOM as well. Import react DOM from react DOM. React DOM right over here. So this is how you will be writing your code. Okay, this is the beginning code for like you're starting out with React. The next thing that we need to understand is about React components. Okay, components is a very important topic to understand at the end of the day. It is pretty simple to understand as well. Do not worry about it. Okay, are you guys able to understand up till here, guys? Please do let me know. Are you guys able to understand up till here? Please do let me know, guys. Now a small problem is there. For example, I don't want just an h1 tag on my screen. Okay, I don't want just an h1 tag on my screen. I want an h1 tag as well as a paragraph tag on my screen. I want both of them together. I want an h1 tag as well as a paragraph tag on my website. So again, what do I want to display? I want to display an h1 tag as well as a paragraph tag. So nothing, I will just make a paragraph tag right over here. Let me just create a paragraph tag. We'll just write some paragraph inside of it. This is a small para, and we will just be closing our paragraph tag right over there. Okay, so we'll be doing this, we'll be saving this, but as you are able to see, first of all, we are getting an error. Okay, we are getting an error that is saying adjacent JSX elements must be wrapped in an enclosing tag. Did you want a JSX fragment? Okay, so what basically it is saying that at one time you can only render one element to your screen. Okay, at one time you can only render one element to your screen itself. Okay, that is what it is trying to say right over here. So but we want two elements on our screen. How to convert these two elements into a single element? Can somebody let me know how to convert these two elements into a single element? Can somebody let me know that, guys? How to convert these two elements into a single element, guys? Can somebody let me know? We have already studied about this. Is it necessary to use JSX? No, it is not necessary to use JSX, but as you were able to see, a thing that you could do in just one line, you had to employ 3 lines to do the exact same thing. That is the reason why you use JSX, because it makes the entire thing easy. Okay, that's absolutely correct, guys. We need to put a div tag around it. We have studied it yesterday. We need to enclose the h1 tag and the paragraph tag inside a div tag. Okay, we have to enclose them inside a div tag right over here, and this is how your code will look like. You're having the h1 tag and your paragraph tag that have been enclosed inside the div tag. So now you're only putting up one div tag as like what you want to render on your website. Okay, what you want to render on your website, as simple as that. So if you only have to render one element. Okay, so if you have multiple elements, you have to put it inside a div tag itself. So let us like save this, go back to our website, reload the page. As you're able to see, we are getting, this is a small para, okay, on our screen along with the h1 tag as well as the paragraph tag. As simple as that right over here. Okay, are you guys able to understand up till here? But guys, please do let me know. Are you guys able to understand up till here, guys? Please do let me know. Are you guys able to understand? Please do let me know. There's nothing like too difficult about it, I guess. So the next thing that I want you guys to understand is in your HTML. Okay, whenever you are having your HTML, if you want to create a list, okay, I want to create a list of elements right over here. You have your unordered list, okay, or UL tag. Okay, to create a particular list, you want to create a list of elements. Okay, so you have to put up a UL tag right over there. So first of all, create the UL tag. So the opening UL tag and the closing UL tag as well. So you are having the closing UL tag right over here. Okay, so you're having the opening UL tag and the closing UL tag. Inside of it, you want to create your list itself. So you're having your list items, LI tag. Okay, you are having the LI tag or the list item tag right over here. Okay, so just LI and then LI opening and closing tag. Now the first item in my list is HTML. Okay, let's save this. Let's go back to our website. As you are able to see, we are getting a list of just one element, that is your HTML element itself. Okay, you're having your HTML element right over here. So if you want to create more number of items in the list, okay, you have to add more number of LI items. Okay, so you're having your second list item, that is your CSS. Then you are having your third list item, that is your JavaScript. Then you are having your fourth list item, let's say React. Okay, let's create a React right over here. Okay, so these are all the different lists items that I was able to create. If you go back to our website, you will be able to see that we are having your HTML, CSS, JavaScript, as well as React inside of our website. Now, the another important concept that comes up inside of your like React is the concept of components. So what React basically says is that every single time when you are creating a particular website, okay, any single time that you're creating a particular website, okay, you want to make sure that your website is basically broken off into different components. Okay, your website is basically broken off into different components out there. Okay, what do I mean by that? Let's try to understand. For example, the h1 and the paragraph tag, they appear to be of the same type. Okay, they appear to be together. So create a separate component for that, maybe named as heading, okay, or intro. Okay, that is the name of that component. For the list, maybe create another particular component called as list. Now, where these components basically have their own HTML, have their own CSS, and their own JavaScript itself. Now, this component model, why do we require this component model? Let us try to understand it. Let's go to Airbnb. Okay, let's go to Airbnb right over here. If you go to Airbnb, you are able to see that some of the structure of the images and the layout of the website is very similar. You're able to see that each of these cards, okay, each of these cards are basically repeating again and again with just some different information. Each of these cards have some carousel of images. Each of these cards have a like button. Each of these cards have a name, a place where they belong, whether it is new, if it is not new, how many stars it has, okay, then how many kilometers away it is, at what dates it is available right now, what is the cost of per day or something like that. So you're easily able to see some of the information that has been provided, and this card is getting repeated again and again. That is the first use of components. Instead of writing the HTML code for each of these cards again and again to create a new card, you can directly create a component once. Just write the code of a component once, just like a function, and just use that function, use that particular component again and again. So you don't have to write the code again and again for a component. That is the first use of components in React.js. The second use of components in React.js, let's try to understand this. If you go to a website, let's say, for example, like Instagram. Okay, let's go to Instagram right now. Let's go to Instagram right over here. So this is our Instagram profile. Okay, this is our Instagram profile right over here. Okay, now inside of this profile, as you are very easily able to see, okay, if I'm loading, okay, if I'm just clicking on my profile right over here, let's go back to home. If I start like scrolling down below, if I start scrolling down below, at one particular point of time, it reloads. Okay, it reloads. Okay, it reloads and adds more post into our like scrolling itself. You don't have to reload the entire page to see more and more number of posts. You just scroll down below, just go on scrolling, and it will just reload the only that component to be able to show you guys more number of post itself. And even in all these posts, you are able to see that this entire box is getting repeated again and again with the same particular thing, because each of these boxes basically your component is a single component. Now, due to this particular fact that it is a single component, it is able to communicate with the server on its own. For example, as you're able to see that, okay, these many likes are there, or I have a notification right now. In the early days, when there was Facebook, in the very early days, you had to reload the entire page to check whether you have a new message or not. You have to reload the entire page to check whether you have a new message or not. But right now, due to these components like the image of that particular messenger itself is itself a component. So it is able to talk to the server directly. You don't have to refresh the entire page to look at more posts. The component itself, when it gets over, it is able to talk to the server and bring more posts and show it to you without reloading the entire page. That is the benefits of using components. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand why do we require components? Are you guys able to understand why do we require components, guys? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand why do we require components? Please let me know, guys. Okay, so now for creating a component is also very simple. Okay, you don't have to worry about it. You need to use the exact same thing that we have learned in our JavaScript classes, that is functions. Okay, we need to start via functions itself. So for example, let's create a function called as intro. Okay, so let's create a functio function called as intro right over here. We'll put up our parentheses and then our curly braces, and then this particular parenthesis will be returning to us. Okay, it will return back to us our h1 and the paragraph tag. So we will be putting it again into a div tag. Let us remove this from right over here. Let's put up a div tag right over here. So div div, and let's close the div tag as well, div div. Let's save this. Let us put up our h1 and the p tag right over here. Let's save this once again. So as you're able to see, we are returning a div tag that contains our h1 and the paragraph tag inside of it, and we have named this particular function as intro. We have named this particular function as intro. It basically returns this particular element back to us. Okay, now we'll be putting that exact thing right over here. Okay, we'll be putting our heading intro right over here. So intro intro, and then the closing tag as well, intro. But as you're able to see, inside the intro tag, okay, inside the intro tag, you don't need to provide any kind of information between the two tags. Okay, there's nothing, no content between them. So we don't require the opening and the closing tag. We can convert this into a self-closing tag as well. That is just intro space and then /. This is called as a self-closing tag, because you don't require an opening and the closing tag because there is no content in between the opening and the closing tag. So you can convert it into a self-closing tag as well. These are usually referred to as self-closing tags. Okay, are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. And this is the component that you have created. Okay, this is the component that you have created. But right now as well, we cannot keep like what is the use of doing this if we are still keeping the entire like component in the same file. Okay, we're keeping the entire component in the same file. The file is still getting a lot bigger than the previous one. We don't want that. Okay, we want to make sure that it is as neat and clean and usable as possible. So what we are going to do is we are going to shift this component to its very own file. So inside of the src folder, okay, that is the source folder, we'll be creating a new file. Okay, we'll be creating a new file. We'll be naming it as intro, the exact name that you have given to the component. The same name you have to use it, intro.jsx, because this is JavaScript XML file. So JSX file that we have created, intro.jsx. Okay, and we are going to shift our function inside of it. We are going to shift our function from our index.js file into our intro.jsx file. Okay, we are going to shift it to our intro.jsx file right over here. After that, what we want to do is, because this is still a React file that we are creating, we are writing our JSX code. Okay, so that JSX code needs to be compiled down to JavaScript code itself. So we require to import our React file. Okay, so import React from React. Okay, so we need to do that because this is still a JSX file, so we need to write it down, and at the end we just need to export our React from this file. At the end, whatever component I have created, you need to export it. So export export default and intro. Okay, that is the name of the component that we have created. So export default intro right over here. Then we need to import it into our index.js file. Okay, we need to import our intro file. So intro intro from /intro. Okay, so we need to import our intro function from the /intro.jsx file. Now, as this is a JSX file, you don't need to specify that, okay, this is an intro.jsx file. Okay, you can directly write /intro. That will basically get you the file. So you don't need to put in the extension for the same. Okay, so that is how you are able to create your intro component itself. We can go back to our website and reload the page. As you are able to see, we are still getting our h1 tag and the paragraph tag, but this time these are a component itself. That is how you are able to create your very own personal component in JavaScript. Are you guys in React? Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Okay, so we'll do this one more time with the list as well. So we are going to create another particular file called as list.jsx right over here, and we are going to create this exact same thing. So I don't want to like write it again, so I'm going to copy everything from intro.jsx and paste it into our file. We are going to call it as list, list. We need to export list itself right over here as well. So export default list. We need to change the code inside of this. So we are going to go back right over here, Control X the entire list, Control V the entire thing instead of div tag. Okay, Control V right over here. We're going to save this. Okay, once you have done that, we are going to go back into our index.jsx. We are going to import our list right over here. So we are going to do that. We are going to import list from list, and then we are going to use it into our code. So we are going to create a self-closing tag, that is our list tag right over here. Let's save this, go back to our website, reload the page, and just open it to a new window, but no issues in that. And as you're able to see, we have created our two basic components directly without doing anything. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Guys, if you're not able to understand, please write exactly what you are not able to understand so that I'm able to clear your doubts as well. Please do let me know if you have understood the same or not, guys. Amulya Patra, I have done that 2 times. Okay, what is your doubt? You let me know that. Okay. If you guys have understood it, that's great. If you have not understood it, please let me know, guys. Okay, I will just show you guys once again. Okay, first you have to create a new file with the name that you have created for that particular component. So list.jsx. Once you have created that, you need to import React from React because it contains Babel. You are writing a JSX code, so you have to import it. Then you have to create a function with the same name as that of the component, that is list. Then you have to return the component, the HTML code that you want it to render, okay, this component to contain. After that, you want to export the function that you have created. So that is the list function. Once you have exported that particular function, you have to import it back into the main index.js file. Once you have imported the same, then you have to put you have to create a self-closing tag right over here, because there's no need of anything in between. There's no content in between the opening and the closing tag, so we don't need to put it up. We can write a self-closing tag right over here, and that's it. That is how you create a component. Okay, so React DOM is basically used to see the changes. Like I said, when you are on a website and you are able to see that, okay, a component has changed or something like that, it is able to talk back to the servers and make you see more posts. Similar to that, the message particular icon, okay, it is able to see some changes. So that is the job of React DOM, to continuously see for changes that is happening for a particular button or a particular item that is present on your website. Once it sees that change, it contacts the servers, it updates updates that particular component itself without updating the entire website. Okay, are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Okay, so I will show you the attendance link right now. Give me a second. No, Deep Jain, today is not the last day. We'll be having one more class tomorrow as well. I think so I've made it very clear for the last class as well. We'll be having one more class tomorrow. Let me show you the attendance, guys. Tomorrow we'll be working on the project, guys. Please be on time. Okay, the project is going to be very easy. You don't have to worry about it. Okay, there is not a lot in the project itself. I'll be providing you some files as well for the project if it is required. Okay, for example, the HTML and CSS files I will be directly providing to you guys that you can continue from right over there itself. So don't worry about it. It will be very simple. Okay, I will try to make sure that you guys are able to enjoy the same as well. Okay, let me create the QR code right now for today's class. Download it. Day 7 AUG August. Tomorrow's class timing will be told to you on the WhatsApp groups itself, guys. Otherwise, you can keep a track on the YouTube channel as well. You will be able to get to know timings for the tomorrow's class. Okay, so you can go ahead and scan the QR code for today's class itself for the attendance. And no issues. We'll be meeting tomorrow once again. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Thank you.